Welcome everyone, this is Zozo Stockwatch, and let's get ready for the week ahead, June 19th to June 23rd. And happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Enjoy your Sunday. So it was a mixed market for the week. We had the Dow Jones making record highs, and for the day, Friday, the Dow was up 24 points, while the NASDAQ was down on Friday 13 points, and for the week it was down close to 1%. The SPX for the week was up fractionally on the SPX, while the SPY, if you follow the SPY, it was down a bit more because it was ex-dividend on Friday. I don't know if many people realize that, but the SPY was ex-dividend on Friday. So we came down to that 242 on the SPY, but we are back above the 20 SMA where they closed it on the SPY. So with the mixed markets, the QQQ, and we'll look at the weekly on the Qs, came down to test the 10 SMA again. Now we've held the 10 SMA before, so we're going to have to see if the bulls can hold serve here again on the 10 SMA on the tech stocks, the QQQ, and that makes up Amazon, Apple, Google, and it's the top 100 NASDAQ stocks. The FANG stocks made a comeback this week, and we'll go through some of those in a bit. Some of the top news stories for the week was this healthcare reform bill is problematic for both the GOP and the Democratic governors. We're hearing that major insurers are seeking a 20% premium increase. The other thing that might be weighing on the markets more as it progresses is there's a theme emerging in Mueller's Russian probe that could prove damning for Trump. Now, Trump comes out and calls the obstruction of justice claims a witch hunt. The special counsel investigating the finances and business dealings of Jared Kushner, so they're bringing Jared Kushner into it, and they're going to start exploring his, finances and businesses. The next thing up for the week was this big story by Amazon buys out Whole Foods. All right, and that was took everybody by surprise, even Jim Cramer. And then the other thing is now they're saying is if Amazon is going to go into Whole Foods, then it may want to sell prescription drugs in Whole Foods stores. So that could be damaging to things like CVS and Walgreens, WBA. So keep that in mind. The Senate voted to impose new sanctions on Russia, 97-2. So that was the Senate voting for that. We did have the shooting in Washington also this week, and that was at the Senate baseball game. The other thing is that we had Janet Yellen raising interest rates by 1/4 point. So the Fed did raise rates in June, but the strange thing about that was the Fed raised rates, but the TLT was up. So now these are longer term bonds, the 20-year, but that was up. So now the fear out there currently is that the yield curve may be flattening, and that's becoming a worry. And what that means is that if the yield curve is flattening, that the economy is slowing down. So just keep that in mind. That's one of the concerns out there for now. The next thing I wanted to go over was for Barron's. We do see that the insider transaction ratio, it did go up some. The ratio equals 15. I believe last week or the week before it was at 7. So it is climbing, but it's still in a bullish spot. The fear and greed index is at 50. So we're dead on between fear and greed right now. So we'll have to see, what the market's going to bring us next week. But currently, we're either bullish or bearish right now. It can't be more neutral than 50 at the moment. The next thing I wanted to go over was some of the FANG stocks, and we'll go ahead and do that right now. We'll look at them on a daily chart. And the first one up is Facebook, and these are some of the bigger names. We have Facebook, which is trying to hold the 50 SMA and push itself up. So you see the battle here at the 50 SMA. So I'll open this up for you. So we'll see what they want to do with Facebook for the week ahead. Amazon was up over 2% on Friday with that news with Whole Foods Market. So you see that's back above the fast-moving averages after it held the 50 SMA. Tesla just keeps, rolling along. For the week, Tesla was up 4%, and up here at record highs on Tesla. On Friday, though, it was down 1%. But we're still above the 5 EMA, still above the 10 SMA on the daily chart on Tesla. Netflix, we have a battle here at the 100 SMA, and we'll call it the 150 area for support right now. And we're trying to get back over the 5 EMA, this green dotted line you see here, but we are below the blue line here, the 50 SMA for Netflix. On Google, we are battling this 50 SMA and this 920 spot to hold, but you see resistance is up here at we'll call it 943 resistance right now on Google. And then Google L, pretty much same thing. We have the fast moving averages rolling over. We're below the 20 SMA, but we are trying to hold this 940 spot right now. Some other stocks we'll look at, some of the bigger names, is NVIDIA, and that had this big downward move. Now we're trying to hold above the 20 SMA, trying to get back over 155. The 50 is turned up, the 200's turned up, so we'll see if they can get this back over on 155 for NVIDIA. AVGO, sorry about that, AVGO, we tried to type in. We're trying to hold above the 50 SMA, but we're curled down below now. You have the 5 crossing through the 20 SMA, and we're below the fast-moving averages. So we'll see if this 50 SMA, we'll call it around 230, if that's going to hold for the Broadcom AVGO. Let's see if there's any other the bigger names that I want to talk about. No. On Bitcoin, GBTC, we had cyber attacks on Bitcoin, is what I read, if I remember correctly. So we had this big drop down in the GBTC, and so then we tried to recover off this 300 mark. But this is the investment trust for the GBTC. The next thing I'd like to look at, is the XME, and you see that was down 6%, and that's the metals and mining ETF. So we'll go ahead and look at some other indices for the markets, and we'll go ahead and start with we'll start with oil also. So let's bring up our oil chart, and that still remains below $45 a share, and we're looking at a weekly chart, and we have that 43 spot to see if that's going to hold as support on oil. And then here's the daily chart of oil, so you can see it clearly, this 43 green line. So this is the WTI light sweet crude oil. So I'll have to see if that 43 level is going to hold. We actually, spiked down near it, and now we're maybe testing it again. So we'll have to see. The USO was also down for the week, and for the week the USO was down close to 3%. The next thing up is we'll take a look at the XLF. That's the bank stocks, and that was basically flat for the week. But we are breaking out from that 24 spot on the XLF, and we did hold gains, and we're staying above the $24 level currently. And this is the daily chart. We held that 150 back here, we climbed up, and now we're trying to get through 24.50 and then maybe up to 25 on the XLF. The XHB was positive for the week. That was up over 1%, and that's your home builders. But we are coming up to a resistance spot on this candle here where my crosshairs are. You see we had a high of 39.22, and we came up to, on the XHB, 39.11. So just keep that in mind. And we do have a home builder reporting earnings next week, and I'll get into that more into the video. The GLD for the week was down 1%, and SLV was also down about 3% on silver. for the week. And some other things that I wanted to look at was UNG, and that was down almost 0.5% even. But we do have a lot of hot weather going across the United States, so we'll see if there's any more bounce for the day. On Friday, the UNG actually bounced Thursday, and you see it's at this kind of double bottom around 650. So we'll see if it can start turning up on the UNG. Some other things I wanted to take a look at was JETS, Jets, and this is the airline ETF. That's trying to hold the 20 SMA. IBB, in the daily chart we're looking at, still having issues at this 295 level on the IBB. And then there's the XBI, and this is the smaller biotech names, still below this 72 level. Popped up to about 73, and we're pulling back, but we are still above the 50 and still above the 20 SMA on the XBI. The transports themselves, the IYT, trying to take out this high here of 170, we'll call it 171, but so far we have this kind of doji candle. We're still above the fast moving averages. The 50's turned up and the 200 is turned up on the IYT. Hack did not fare so well this week. Hack was down over 1% on the HAK. Robo, which is the automation ETF, was down about over 1% for the week. And for the daily, we're still above the 50 SMA, but this is the automation index on the ETF. The last thing I want to look at is the VIX. All right, and we'll look at this on the weekly chart, and you see that we're still treading water around, we'll call it the $10 spot on the VIX right now. We did have a low in this at 937. We're currently at 1038. So, we did have a little more volatility, but not much more. And so pretty calm as far as the VIX goes. Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to look at? So this week, General Electric, or was it last week? But General Electric lost CEO Jeffrey Immelt, and so he's gone. He left the company, and you see the big volume. And actually in Barron's this week, they see 15% upside in General Electric. Another mention for Barron's was General Mills, GIS, and they said upside of 20% for next week for for the next 18 to 24 months. That would be really sweet if they could get 20% by next week on GIS. But Barron's positive on General Mills. They also had the cover of Barron's, and on the cover of Barron's that we have let's see, the tech stocks. All right, and Barron's is saying the tech wreck looks temporary and stocks are cheap. And then here's the cover of Barron's. Will tech stocks keep rallying? As far as they do mention Costco also in Barron's. Costco looks appealing because Costco was down a lot. On Friday it was down 7%. And for the week it was down 7% on Costco. So Barron's is saying Costco looks appealing, but bearish for Kroger. And we're going to go ahead and show you Kroger in a little bit. Some stocks, and this is not in Barron's, but some stocks this week that had some chatter, some takeover rumors around the name. CRM, Salesforce, being speculated on as far as takeover rumor. And we'll put this on the daily. Procter & Gamble also had speculation rumor around it. PF, Pinnacle Foods, speculation around this name. APC, speculation on Anadarko Petroleum. GNRT, also mentioned as a takeover candidate. Now this is a shipping stock, and you see the big move it had on Friday, so that was mentioned in takeover speculation. And then the next one I have is CI, and this is Cigna Corp, and was mentioned as possible speculation in this name. Some other information I want to share with you. Some top insider purchases on Friday, ALXN. All right, and we have a purchase of shares here on ALXN by the director Baker Brothers. Okay, so this is Baker Brothers. Over 1 million shares here and over 600,000 shares here on ALXN. TTD director purchased 20,000 shares. Acme CEO purchased over 20,000 shares. Let's see, any others that stand out? Let me think. AREX, 10% ownership, purchased 300K shares in the name. And then for the syndicate news that came out on Friday, ADMA filed Form 3, LTBR filed S1, SIX filed S3, common stock offering. And let's see if there's anything else. That's about it that came out on Friday as far as, syndicate news and some insider purchases. Oh, and I forgot to mention, director of Revlon purchased 291,000 shares on Revlon, REV. The next thing we're going to take a look at for the week coming up, and I think let's get ready into some of the winners for the week that passed. I'll go ahead and move to my weekly chart, and we had OMER, and this stock was up 55% for the week. OMNT was up 50% for the week on OMNT. NK was up 54% for the week on NK. GTXI was up 49% for the week. Mosey, yeah, here it is, MOSY, was also up for the week, 38% for the week on MOSY. EPZM was up 30% for the week on EPZM. LAKE up 12% for the week, and they had earnings that passed this week, and they were up 12% for the week. HIIQ was up 23% for the week on HIIQ. VSLR was up 21% for the week. HRB up 14% for the week, and this is H&R Block, and they were up on earnings this week. WFM on the takeover was up 29% for the week, or should I say, 29%, I believe it was. This, let me check that. Yeah, 29% for the day, and then up 19% for the week on WFM. EKSO was up 57% for the week on EKSO. W soaring higher, and Citron came out against W, and I'll just find that for you. Okay, here we go. And I don't know if you can see this on your screens. Let me make this bigger for you. Okay, that should be better. So they came out on Friday, and Wayfair shareholders should be concerned. And then Citron is pressing a short. Target is $50. But the market did not listen to Citron on Friday. And for the week, the stock was up close to 9%. This was the action in it on Friday. So you see, this is when the Citron news came out. Stock goes down. It comes down to the 5-minute 200 moving averages, and then it popped right back up. So that was announced by Citron. The next stock that was up for the week after Wayfair was BHVN, and this is a small biotech, and this stock was up 19% for the week. So that's some of the best stocks for the week that happened, and some of the worst stock for the week for this week were Costco, which was down 7%, like we had mentioned. SVU down 19% for the week on SVU, and this is one of the stocks that were affected by the Amazon Kroger takeover. I'm sorry, Amazon Whole Foods takeover. Kroger was down 28% for the week. Walmart was also down for the week, a little bit over 5%. Pandora was down 18% for the week on Pandora. CLDR down 10% for the week. Target was down 8% for the week. HA was also down for the week, down 18% for the week. BAH was down 17% for the week. SFS was down 32% for the week. So some of your worst stocks for the week. All right, so we went through a lot of things that happened during the week. The biggest news really was the Amazon Whole Foods merger. And just to let you see how that affected Walgreens, that stock was down big. Walgreens Boots Alliance, that was down big on Friday, down 5%. And then CVS also down about 4% on Friday. And that was because of that news that they might be selling prescription drugs now in Whole Foods Market. So both of those were down for the week. All right, so now we can go ahead and get ready for the week ahead, and bear with me while I bring that up for you. So for earnings next week, some of the names that are reporting, some of the bigger names that are reporting. Tuesday before the open, we have Lennar, which is LEN. After the close, we have Adobe, ADBE, FedEx, FDX will be reporting. Red Hat, which is RHT. Lazy Boy, LZB. And for Wednesday before the open, we have CarMax, KMX, Actuant, ATU, and WGO is Winnebago. Oracle reports after the bell on Wednesday, ORCL. Steelcase, SCS reports, and CGI also reports Wednesday after the bell. Thursday before the bell, Accenture, ACN, Barnes & Noble, BKS, APOG will be reporting. CCL is reporting before the bell on Thursday. And let me see what else. For Thursday after the bell, BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond, Sonic, SONC, SNX also reporting. Friday before the open, BlackBerry, BBRY, and Finish Line will be reporting earnings. FINL reporting earnings before the open on Friday. So there's your earnings for the week coming up, some of the bigger names. And we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. And then we have your economic information that's coming out for the week ahead. Let me make sure I'm on the right dates. Yep. So for the week ahead, looks like we have some Fed speak coming up, and you can see that in the red. We have William Dudley speaking Monday at 8 a.m. And we'll see Fed speak Charles Evan at 7 p.m. But really nothing in between economic numbers, nothing on Monday. On Tuesday, let's see, we have Fed speak Fisher. We also have Eric Rosengren speaking on Tuesday. Fed speak Robert Kaplan. API crude numbers at 4:30 on Tuesday. For Wednesday, we have our oil numbers coming out. Existing home sales at 10 o'clock. For Wednesday, oil numbers at 10:30. MBA mortgage applications at 7 a.m. Let's see if there's anything else for this day. No. Thursday, we have coming out initial jobless claims at 8:30. 9 a.m. more housing price index information. UNG nat gas at 10:30. Leading indicators 10 o'clock on Thursday. And 8:30 Thursday night, we have the Japanese PMI manufacturing index coming out. For Friday, I see at 2:45 a.m. we have France's GDP coming out. And lastly, we have more Fed speak coming out. Bullard speaks at 11:15 a.m. Loretta Mester speaks at 12:40 on Friday. PMI composite flash and 10 o'clock new home sales. So that's for next week, June 19th through June 23rd. And let's see. So the last thing I wanted to just mention before in closing, Trump said that very good GDP numbers are coming. Now, I don't know how he knows this, but that's a little suspicious. President Donald Trump said very good GDP numbers will be announced soon. So I find that a little amazing that he could say that because nobody's supposed to know that numbers until they come out. But we'll see what's going to happen for that. So that was your week that was, and that also information to get you ready for the week ahead. The other thing is I'll be doing stocks to watch. That'll be coming out in another video. It'll be just stocks that I have on watch for Monday and maybe the beginning of the week. So this has been Zozo Stock Watch. You can find me on Twitter, StockTwits. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you like the videos and you feel they're preparing you, hit that thumbs up. But mostly, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's a great help. I thank you very much for listening, and have a very successful week ahead. And now you're more ready for next week than you were before. This has been Zozo Stock Watch, and thank you for listening. Have a great day.